Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for coming and checking out our channel. If this is your first time here, we help entrepreneurs change the world by giving them the tools that we have to make them better. These are the people that are disrupting, innovating, taking the risks to make the world better for you and I. So anything I can do to help them, I'm all about it. And then I bring amazing guests in that are way smarter than me, that have done a lot greater things than I have, and they share their wisdom as well. For those of you that don't know, I am a 5-time, 6-time, maybe even 7-time entrepreneur. I have been starting businesses and exiting businesses for the last 30 years. I've grown 2 businesses to over 9 figures in sales, 3 to over 8 figures in sales. So I know a thing or two, but I don't know everything. Today, you've got a fun topic. We are going to talk about all the work that you're doing and what happens behind the scenes. Because I grew up in a world pre-social media. I grew up in a world where we didn't have, Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, or I guess X. I grew up in a world where the work you did happened behind a closed door, and only when it was done did the world get to see what you were doing. But we live in a world now where everybody has to share everything. And my ask to you is why does it matter? If you're trying to build something great, and you're trying to build something that is a lasting business or whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it's disrupting, whether it's innovating, why does somebody need to be in the middle of how it gets made? If you go into a restaurant, do you want to go into the kitchen and watch the chef at work to figure out how to put your meal together? Or you just want that beautifully plated meal coming out to you hot and ready to eat and wondering how they did such a great job of putting all that together? See, everybody's so fixated right now on telling everybody what they're doing. And don't get me wrong, Projecting Grandeur is all about telling the world what you're going to be before you get there. But that doesn't mean that you need to tell everybody every move that you're making. There's a lot of power in just going behind a door and closing it, putting together the work, the effort, the grind that it takes to get your business going, and then opening that door and unveiling it to the world. They don't need to know everything. They don't need to know exactly what you're up to at all times. There's a lot of time spent on putting things out that may not be beneficial to what you're trying to accomplish. And my only ask to you is that there's a lot of power in the quietness of the work that it takes to build a business. So as you start to think about your own business, decide, is there things that you're doing that need to be shared? Are they part of the story? Or are there things that you're just sharing because you want to brag? Because if that's the case, you need to close that door, get focused, put your head down, and get to work. We are at the beginning of 2026 right now. We have the entire year ahead of us. And I know everybody says the same thing. I've got all year. I'm going to do these great things. And then what happens is a week goes by, and then 2 weeks, and then a month, and then a quarter, and then half the year is over. And you're thinking to yourself, what in the world is happening? And then you start sounding like me, like an old person saying, oh, time goes so fast. That's only because you're not making the most of the time you have. So stop spending all your time telling people about what you're doing and start closing that door and doing the things, and then telling the world, once you're ready, that this is what I'm going to do. Don't spend all your time worrying about what everyone else thinks. Don't spend all your time worrying about what others want you to think and want you to focus on. Do what you need to do what you know is right. And if you have a bunch of noise, close that door, get that work done, and unveil to the world what you're doing. Don't worry about what is happening during, show them what's happening after. This is a short one today. I'm fired up, as you can probably tell. It's early in the year. I've got a ton of motivation. Normally I get up at 4 a.m. every day. For the last week, I've been getting up probably around 3:15, which is a little earlier than I really want, but my brain is just swirling with ideas, and I'm super excited about my own life and what I've got going on with my businesses. And I just want to keep sharing because I just love hearing the feedback from all the entrepreneurs out there that are doing amazing things. So keep projecting that grandeur, keep doing amazing things. And while you're at it, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of the show. Tell me what you'd like me to cover in the future. And don't forget to subscribe. We put out 5 new episodes per week, and share it with a buddy. Have a good day.